I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. Here are my thoughts on Dune. Let's get it. Dune is an epic science fiction film that's directed by Denis Villenueve, who's known for directing the films Sicario, Arrival, and Blade Runner 2049, and he also co-wrote the screenplay with John Spates and Eric Roth. It is part one of a planned two-part adaptation of the 1965 novel of the same name by Frank Herbert. The film primarily covers the first half of the book, and it's set in the far future as it follows Paul Atreides as he and his family, the noble House Atreides, are thrust into a war for the dangerous desert planet Arrakis between the native Fremen people and the enemy invaders and the former rulers of Arrakis, the House Harkonnen. This is the second film adaptation of Dune, with David Lynch's polarizing 1984 film. There was also a TV series adaptation that aired in the early 2000s. This film adaptation features an ensemble cast, including Timothée Chalamet as Paul Atreides, Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica, Oscar Isaac as Duke Leto Atreides, Josh Brolin as Gurney Halleck, Stellan Skarsgård as Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, Dave Bautista as Rabban, the Baron's nephew, Stephen McKinley Henderson as Thufir Hawat, Zendaya as Chani, David Dastmalchian as Peter DeFries, Chang Chen as Dr. Wellington Yue, Sharon Duncan Brewster as Dr. Liette Kynes, Charlotte Rampling as the Bene Gesserit Reverend Mother, Jason Momoa as Duncan Idaho, and Javier Bardem as Stilgar, the leader of a certain section of Fremen. Now, I'll start off with my background with Dune. I have never seen the 1984 film by David Lynch or any of the TV series, and when I heard that Denis Villeneuve was going to be directing this new adaptation of the science fiction novel, I decided to read the first book for the first time last year in preparation for this movie. And Denis Villeneuve has become one of my favorite directors, and based on his previous work, especially Blade Runner 2049, which I thought was incredible, I knew that this new adaptation of Dune was going to be nothing short of incredible. So it had all the great ingredients to be a great film, with Villeneuve directing and co-writing the script, Hans Zimmer composing the score, and the great cast involved. Now, did the actual final product deliver on my expectations? Hell yes, it did. And again, I absolutely loved this film, from Villeneuve's direction to the jaw-dropping visual effects to the performances by the actors, especially Timothée Chalamet as Paul, Jason Momoa as Duncan Idaho, Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica, and Oscar Isaac, among all the other actors. The score by Hans Zimmer was just incredible, with all the instruments he used, and the implementation of just people's voices was mesmerizing, and it gave more gravitas to the scenes in this film. And Greg Fraser's cinematography was great as well, and I truly felt that I was transported to another world. So I give kudos to everybody involved in making this film. Now, is it a masterpiece? I'm not sure I can say that right now, but it definitely has potential to be as the years go by. And it's a faithful adaptation of the first half of the book for the most part. And if you like cerebral sci-fi that has commentary on imperialism and environmentalism, and that it also has political intrigue between warring houses, then Dune will satisfy you in every way possible. And not many people know this, but Dune actually, since the novel came out in 1965, it heavily influenced popular franchises like Star Wars and Game of Thrones, and you'll definitely get hints of that watching this film. And I really don't have any complaints about the film. They do leave some details out from the book, like the backstory of the Mentat's abilities, but that really didn't bother me since it's pretty much impossible to adapt everything from the book beat by beat. And I do recognize some of the criticism that the film's been receiving, that it just, ends abruptly, as it is the first part of the story. But I thought it ended at a good point, and it leaves me excited to watch part 2. I wish part 2 is out right now so I can watch it. Now, also, the only travesty of this film is that Warner Brothers didn't greenlight part 2 from the get-go, and that's due to Blade Runner 2049 not performing well at the box office, so they were hesitant in greenlighting the sequel, as it's going to be really expensive, and I understand that, but they really needed to just greenlight both of them so they can fully back up Villeneuve's vision for this film, and hopefully they'll announce the sequel pretty soon. So after the good word of mouth, and since the film is doing reasonably well at the box office during the pandemic, the announcement for the sequel should come soon, and if it doesn't happen, I'll be extremely disappointed. So Dune is sci-fi at its best, and it needs to be seen on the biggest screen possible, whether that's IMAX or Dolby Atmos, but it needs to be seen at theater. It's made for the movie theater. So please support this film. Go see it in the theater if you feel comfortable, and if you can't see it at a theater, definitely watch it on HBO Max multiple times so the sequel can get greenlit faster. And just support this. This is excellent filmmaking. Thank you, Denis Villenueve, and everybody involved in the production. You made a great film, and I'm really happy. Can't wait for the sequel. And thank you for watching. These were my thoughts on this adaptation of Dune. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the film, if you read the book. And just subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and if you have, hit the bell notification so you know when future videos come out. Thank you once again. I'm out.